Hey guys, Czar here. Hope all is well. Trust you're having a good day. I've had a very uneventful day. It's 3:36. There's 24 minutes left in the session here, and I'm wondering if there's an opportunity to finally make some money a little bit here at the end of the day. Who knows? I'm watching very closely now as this last 25 minutes or so plays out, because very often we'll get a sell-off after a fairly significant drop like the one you see right here. And somebody watching this on the NASDAQ. Oops, we're about to get tagged in here, guys. Stop above, right there. Stop above. Sell stop order live now, guys. I'll fix this marker here in a moment. Give me 1 second. Just going to my own platform. About to get tagged in here. Fairly common pattern. Watching now. I do want to see that break. And there it is, guys. There it is. Okay, that makes sense. So short the NASDAQ, guys. First trade of the day. Very long wait. Fortunately, I had some other projects to work on while sitting here telling my group to be careful and basically stay out. Implied messages. Typical type of Monday. And again, guys, there are models and methods that will can make money in this stuff, this grinding stuff. It doesn't work for me, and that's just the nature of trading. But I think for the most part, traders are really struggling in this kind of price action, and not swing traders. My swing accounts are doing very well, but more challenging certainly to find optimal setups when there's a disconnect and a divergence and messiness and sloppiness happening between the three sisters. For instance, this picture that you see here on the Dow versus this grinding sideways stuff you see here on the S&P and the NASDAQ. We had some fairly good flow here earlier on today, but nothing that gave me the kind of setups that I need for my optimal plays. I'll be putting you on pause, guys. We'll cut out sideways grinding action, non-teaching moments, things of that nature to keep this video nice and tight. I do want to show you this though. One of our members and online friends named Russell showed me this way to use the Fibonacci tool to show the profit targets. Watch this. So I'm going to measure with the Fibonacci from the stop to the entry. Right, here we go. Watch this. Stop to the entry. Boom. See that there? And there's 1R, 1.5 R, and that's 2R. Now I did that in the settings. Here are my settings. It says 2, 2.5, and 3 because that's just the extension. I'm extending lines to the right and so on. So this is a trading view. For those of you trading view want to do the same thing, that's what it looks like. And I've taken off labels and everything, so it's just nice and clean. But thank you to Russell for the idea. I think I'm going to run with that. It just makes it. I was doing it with individual lines and labeling and what have you, a very manual process. So I'll do that one more time for you. So clicking the Fibonacci tool, which you probably can't see off the screen here, and measuring from the stop to the entry, and it extrapolates out the 1R, 1.5, and 2. Of course, you can set that as half R, 3/4 R, whatever you want on your own trades and your own platform. I'll put you on pause, guys. We'll watch this thing play out. We'll see where we go from here. All right, guys, back. We got 4 minutes left, 4 or 5 minutes in the session. Regular trading hours. We should get some kind of movement down here now. Not always, for sure. But based on this pattern, this is the typical type of movement. Maybe we'll get 1R out of this. Let's see if we can get a quick drop here in the last 4.5 minutes of the session. Almost one little tick more. There it is, guys. We'll see if we can go a little bit further here after hours. Be watching it. And target 1 and target 2 were hit almost at the same time, just a little bit behind each other. Going into the close, we're actually the regular trading hours closed 15 seconds ago, but now we're selling off harder into the final push here. Let's see if we can get the 2R and be done with this. And just to be clear, guys, while we're waiting here, that this is a Vwap reversion trade. If I put you back to the three sisters, you You can see this was really a play on getting back to Vwap. Let me just organize this. Here we go. From up here in the stratosphere, since we hit 2.5 standard deviations many times in the session. That's actually fairly rare. But when it happens, we often see this move in the afternoon. It's a series of profit taking and rebalancing the books, getting back towards, not always two, like we did here on the S&P, and we were below, of course, on the Dow, but getting back towards the volume weighted average price of all transactions that occurred in the futures trading session. Something we see over and over again, not every time, and so we can't always count on it happening, but it does happen enough that we can flip the coin and see what happens. And so here's the breakdown. Of course, I would never do this at a different time of the day. This is very much in the last half hour, and I believe in the last 20 minutes. Yeah, it was 3:37, so 23 minutes. This is what we typically see, but I need to always see us being on the bias side of the EMAs, meaning a negative, in this case, a negative moving average configuration, prices below and breaking pivots. So it's a structural reason to sell, not just trying to pick a top along the way. And days like this, you'll see people trying to trade into these new highs and get slaughtered, thinking that it can't go much higher, especially after this parabolic rocket ship we've had here on the daily. That's been hitting new highs almost every day for the last several sessions. In fact, every day for the last several sessions, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, all of last week and half of the week before. And so they start to think, I can't go much higher, but without structural reasons to do this, it just makes no sense whatsoever. One trade today, waiting for this to still see if we can hit the 2R. We've hit our primary target of 1R, then we hit 1.5R, and so now we're just going to wait to see if we can do this in the after hours, guys. It's 4:03, almost 4:04, and we'll give it another few minutes, then we'll close it out manually if we need to. And we're done, guys. Finally, that we actually hit it there. 2R, there it goes, beyond. Let me just freeze you for 1 second. I'll bring back the score. And there it is, guys. All four models were fully profitable. We never hit, when we hit 1R, we never went back to break even. And so there it is. I want to thank Russell again for this great idea of drawing the levels with the Fibonacci tool. Thank you, Russell. Thank you for being here, guys. And I apologize for my voice. I tried to speak a little bit less in this video. I got a really raspy sore throat going on, but it's been bugging me for a while, as some of you know. But I appreciate your patience with me. And with this day, too, this market was a little funny today. But I know from all the feedback that I get in the comments and in DMs and what have you. But there it is, guys. Another aspect of this trade, by the way, I was just thinking about this, is to sell, in this case, sell the strongest, right? The one that's the furthest away from Vwap very often, but only after that structural change that you see happening here. I wouldn't want to have, obviously, the Dow was below Vwap. The S&P was a little bit closer in terms of the structural feel. And so this was the one that made the most sense. It also had the biggest gain on the day. Even now, still up 59 basis points. S&P up only 45. And the Dow is flat on the day, almost exactly zero. But the NASDAQ was up close to 1% at one point. I think it was 90 basis points. And so that was the one that I took. And just to make sure that I'm fully explaining this, it's a little bit different than you typically see. Now, what you can do, and y'all sometimes do this, is draw a zone up here, and now all of a sudden this is a zone reversal, right? But I want to make it clear that this is a Vwap reversion instigated trade. This zone doesn't go anywhere. It is now an intra-day and was an impending zone at that time, right? So a very important difference and little nuance there that I want to make sure that I explain fully. Thanks for being here. Have an amazing day, guys, or evening for many of you. And we'll talk to you soon. Take care.